Welcome in. This is 300 Yards to Unknown, a podcast that generally starts at golf and goes off the rails somewhere. Joining me, as he does regularly, this is a lot of fun, Eric Patterson. You can find his stuff on The Score. You can find his musings on Twitter at epatgolf. What up, dude?
Rick, we are, 2 days away now. We started this 2 weeks ago, so it's fun to see time finally ticking down to where we have an actual tournament coming up this week. It's crazy that we made it, but we held tough and we're here now.
There is golf action. The PGA Tour will be back. What has it been? 11. It's been 90. It's going to be 91 days, I think, from the end of the player. I don't know if that's the end of the players or the end of the API until the start of this event. It feels like 900 days.
It does. It feels like such a long time. I mean, we had some professional golf to track while we were on our hiatus, but having Rory and Rahm and Brooks back, it's real nice.
And so that reminds me, the field is stacked. Obviously, we've kind of talked ad nauseum about that. One of the best fields, definitely the best field this event has ever seen. One of the best outside of a major that we've kind of ever seen on tour. And the featured groups are stacked as well, Eric. So like what I think is kind of hilarious about this, you've got the top 3 players in the world playing together, and this, and we did it at Torrey Pines. Like, there would be a million people following these guys around. They'd be a dozen deep, but it is going to be the 3 best players in the world playing in front of no one.
It's I'm so excited to see what those feature groups are like. It's going to be unique to see these guys, like you said, travel around the course with no herds of people following them, no claps, no roars. It's I'm excited to see that. Obviously, I'm excited to see the golf. I'm excited to see it all unfold. Testing, all these things that go into the week that is. We're seeing, the virtual press conferences that happened today. We already had some technical difficulties with those, guys dropping the calls, people on mute. So this the standard COVID coronavirus stuff that people are used to now, that's kind of trickled into the PGA world.
Seems like every Zoom meeting I've ever been on where someone is muted when they shouldn't or not muted when they should be. Everybody deals with that. A couple things out of this. Out of habit, are these guys going to make a putt, pull the ball out of the cup and wave to the crowd? Are they going to tip their cap when they are announced on the first tee? Like, it's going to be weird.
I haven't in the Ryder Cup. I feel like guys who don't wear hats sometimes tip their cap out of like forgetting that they don't have a hat on or something. It might be out of habit. They reach for their hat and give a nod to nobody. Maybe the guys in the group are applauding them or nice putt, nice shot, whatever from the caddies. But yeah, we'll get one wave to nobody, and that'll be a viral moment, and then we'll move on.
Well, I'm sure you'll be the first to tweet it out. I feel like I don't even know. Okay, we're going off the rails here. How are you grabbing video screenshots? They're not even screenshots. They're video clips. What are you using for that? I can't figure this technology out.
Do I want to technology app? This is it's built into your iPhone. It's the most one of the
Oh, you're doing it on your phone?
Oh yeah, it's easy. Go on.
Jesus.
I mean, I don't want to give away all my tips and tricks, but it's a couple clicks, a couple record screens, press play, and then you got the video.
All right. Well, that's more than I can do. I thought you were doing it like on your computer. I thought there was a special program for it.
No, it's just record the screen off PGA Tour Live. That's the.
I'm sure they love that.
That's the secret. I try to stay away now. I mean, I don't want to get in too much trouble with these videos, but if there is something, I'll just turn it into a GIF or something and reuse it that way, so they can't really give me too much hard of a time.
Oh, that's smart. That's actually a really good idea. One thing about this, so this is something that I've thought about a couple of times over the years, because I've tried to do a lot of obviously data analysis, but like group analysis. When one guy plays with another guy, do they do better or worse? We always heard about the Tiger factor. When you played with Tiger, things got more difficult. I think the most inherently unfair thing about golf is that the best players in the world always have to play with the best players in the world, and the lesser known guys play with the lesser known guys, and it's not completely random.
Yeah, it is. It's weird how they set up the times. I mean, you could probably go count how many times JT and Fowler have played together. Like
Yeah.
they're back together again. They're living together. It's just like there's such good friends. It must put them such at ease when they're together. But yeah, at the same time, like these guys, Koepka wants to play with McIlroy and Rahm. I don't know.
Sure.
It's a lesser guy might not want to play with the top players in the world. I'm not sure how they want to go about it, but with those groups comes the galleries. Obviously, that's not an issue now, but it is interesting to look at. Like, yeah, they group the winners together. They group the top ranked players in the world, and then you get the early morning and late afternoon tee times with a few nobodies, and they just kind of go about their business.
Yeah, it's probably not as fair or unfair now. You're right, Eric, because there's no fan. Because usually, like Tiger hits his shot, and then everyone sprints ahead. 3,000 people are sprinting up to the green or whatever, and the next guy has to hit while everyone's moving. Like that's. But I guess my bigger point is the whole thing about the tour is like protect the field. Everything has to be super fair. The fact that the pairings are not completely randomized is astonishing to me. Like I know why they do it, because when you are there on site, you want to just follow one group. You put 3 guys together. Like I get it. It's better for television. It's better for all of that. But could you imagine? Like I'm trying to think of another sport comparison that we could make where the event decides who kind of competes with each other. I mean, I guess it's not against each other, but with each other to start the event. Like, I don't think there's anything like it.
Yeah, maybe a drawn tennis. I don't know how you can make the comparison to team sports, but personally, I wish they kind of grouped them together with more of a purpose, not just the rankings, put some rivals together. Why isn't Koepka with Reed and DeChambeau to start this week? Like, man, put some gasoline on the fire and let these guys get back at it. Maybe a little flex off on the first tee. Who knows?
Bryson lifting up his shirt to show his abs, that kind of thing.
That's the stuff we need. I did notice that we saw how quickly DJ plays in the driving relief, and he's with Bryson. So that's a poor draw for DJ, I would suspect, because he's probably going to want to play pretty quickly. And then, Bryson will be out there doing his calculations. So it'd be interesting to see, if I'll leave this to you. You're the data scientist guy here, but diving into like maybe someone who's noticeably a little bit slower or quicker. I mean, maybe Bryson feels like he has to rush because he's playing with DJ. I'm not sure how it works. It could go both ways, but an interesting dynamic for the first group.
Certainly would be good to look into. Here's another idea for the tour. Let us choose. Throw it out on Twitter for what these featured groups could be. We'll put some people together. We'll put Bryson and Reed and Brooks together. No problem. Let us fuel it. But the tour is going to get a little creative, Eric, here. So a couple of things we need to talk through. There is going to be there was a CBS call, I don't even know what day it is, maybe yesterday, where they're going to do this little confession booth, so to speak, which is a little tented area off, I believe, the 9th green, where guys are going to be able to pop in there as they're making the turn and get a preloaded question that they will then answer. I will hold my thoughts on this. Good, bad, or indifferent, EPAT?
Just when you explain it, like I just think of everything that's going to go wrong and awkward and like I just can't see a guy like DJ or Koepka going mid-round, going to sit down in with a green screen behind them, a microphone and a camera, answer one probably terrible question about how they're playing, and then just get up and leave. It's just going to be, I wouldn't call it a confessional. I don't know. If it is a confessional booth, that's going to be sweet. If it's like a, chirp your playing partner, or give us a insight into the course or something a little more substantial than just how's the round going, what's it like with no fans, because that's what we're going to get, and that's probably what it's going to be. But there's going to be awkward moments that I'm very excited to see.
There is. So to step back from this, there has been a lot of criticism over telecasts in the past 6 to 8 months. That's undeniable. So with any innovation, I feel as if we should be applauding it. Okay, try something new, give us something new, let us hear from the players. JT said he didn't want to be mic'd up, so maybe this is a way that you can at least get some insight. So I applaud the attempt at innovation. However, I have a feeling this is going to be executed poorly, because it's not going to be live, from what I understand. So this will be edited. So whatever response they give as they're making the turn, if we see it an hour later, might not make sense anymore. To your point, Eric, if they're not like it's all go. And then who's going to load the questions and how are they going to load them? Is it going to be a question that's loaded 30 seconds before they get into the booth and it's like, yo, DJ, you just three jacked from 6 feet. What happened? Like, that's not going to happen. I have a feeling it's just going to be what's it like with no fans? How's your round going? What do you need to do on the back? Which I think will come off pretty boring if it goes that way.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Obviously, you have to congratulate them or applaud them for trying something different with no fans and just kind of adding interest to the event. But like you said, it's going to be tough to pull off if these questions are from fans or like, we have one email question in and they just pick it randomly. That would be a little more interesting than a loaded question from the CBS team or the PGA Tour or someone on the grounds there. I can't see it being too interesting. I'm just more interested to see how it goes and kind of have fun with it after that, to be honest.
And as with anything, like this is step one, right? So this is like, take step one, see if this works or if it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, that's fine. At least we learned that. At least we tried it, right? I learned 2,000 ways to not make a light bulb, right? You still learned something throughout that process. So I applaud it. Let's see what happens. I'm not that optimistic. Unfortunately, Eric, something I'm also not optimistic for is this Twitter multicast that was announced by the tour, I don't know, a couple hours ago. From what I understand, there are going to be different, I don't want to call them telecasts, multicasts, I guess, of quote unquote celebrities or people that overlaid onto PGA Tour Live. And then on Twitter, you can tune in and watch those personalities call the action. So I love, this is an idea I've been clamoring for. I said, every sporting event should have multiple feeds. You should be able to get an audio feed or whatever of guys talking about sports betting or former players or whatever. There should not be one telecast. So I love the idea of this, but some of the names they can, like, I'm not excited about any of these people to talk about golf.
They are trying something new. It's good to see. Yeah. I'm interested. I will probably tune into Eddie Pepperell's feed just because of his personality, and he's a golfer and he'll have insight to what these guys are thinking about or something along those lines. I'm not very interested to see what Darius Rucker has to say about Justin Thomas's golf game, to be honest. I don't know how many people do, but he's one of those guys. Like, yeah, they nailed it with trying something new and offering a different broadcast, but the names are definitely not very interesting from my point of view.
Yes,
I'm a diehard fan, so these are like, they're probably trying to draw in a little more casual of a viewer, but
maybe that's it. Maybe they're saying, okay, we're gonna have a lot of eyes that don't necessarily watch golf. We don't want to throw them on with potentially hardcore golf analysts or whatever it is. Let's throw them Dude Perfect or Annika Sorenstam and Brittany Lincecum or actually the Eddie Pepperell one's pretty good. Henny, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Zool. She does the golf TV stuff.
Yeah, that sounds right.
She's really good. And Eddie Pepperell's great. So that to me is the best one. CBS Sports, which, listen, I love them. They do great stuff. They are a great team. They have I don't want to say a bad word about them, but they're going with Charles Davis and Danny Cannell, which is a purely football angle of this. So maybe that's what they determined. They want to try to rope in some football fans that are maybe more familiar with those guys and turn them into golf fans like that. I understand, but I mean, the catalog of people that CBS Sports could put out that, the celebrity streams, like they're endless people. I would love to have heard how they got down to these, I don't know, 12 or 15 people.
Yeah. I mean, CBS, I'd watch maybe one with like Tony Romo. He's a good golfer and a good broadcaster. He has a little insight there, but yeah, it's an interesting list. I wouldn't mind seeing a more like maybe a DFS point of view. I know they have some guys from the Action Network, but I mean, Pat Mayo is not to pump anyone else's tires here, but I think he would have been a fantastic choice for this and probably would have jumped at the opportunity. But I think he also would have, provided insight that a lot of us, diehards are looking for. So I think it's a window to potentially more. We'll see how it goes for this week. But yeah, again, applaud the effort. We'll see how the execution unfolds.
I was surprised that there was not a DraftKings side of this, because they have an Action Network side of it. They did that. They embraced it. I don't know what happened with DraftKings. They're an official partner. I was shocked to see that was not listed here. Do you have any idea? Like, okay, so I've thought about doing this before, because literally it looks like the screenshot that they are proposing, with Darren Rovell and Jason Sobel, is like the idea we've had for years, which is just throw up the PGA Tour live stream and what we're doing right now, overlay our faces on the side of it and just talk. What is like, it can't be like, what are the legalities of this? Like, if I want to do this on Thursday morning, they're going to try to shut me down for like, distribution of their video in an incorrect way, right?
100%. Yeah, that if you like jump on Twitch or something with the PGA stream in the background, that would get shut down in a heartbeat. So the PGA Tour definitely has to have their hand in this. But that's like what it's all it is. They're just going to have a stream up with their face and just kind of talking. I'm not sure if they're talking over the PGA Tour live broadcast or
interesting.
I don't know how it's going to work, because I mean, I think it's only for a short window too.
Yes, it is. It is Thursday. I just had it here. Thursday from 1 to 2:30 Eastern time. So just that hour and a half window.
And are they all, I guess they're all running simultaneously, which again doesn't seem smart, but yeah. I mean, for an hour and a half, those like two people on a stream can probably hold a conversation. It could dry up pretty quickly, but again, we will see. I'm excited. I'll tune into Pepperell for sure. I think it's a different kind of taste from the regular broadcast, so I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I do. Don't get me wrong. Love the idea. Would love to do it myself if I had a good lawyer or whatever, right? But like, love the idea. So let's see where it goes. I always think about that. You mentioned, if you have it on in the background on Twitch, like where do they draw the line? Like if I'm sitting in front of my screen here and like you happen to see the TV in the background is on whatever, like, does it have to take up more than 50% of the window? Like there's got to be a line somewhere. I don't know what it is.
You should try it. Just start start experimenting.
We're gonna have a
little
GoFundMe
screen in the corner and then let it get bigger and bigger as see if they catch on.
GoFundMe for my legal defense team. I think when all that happens, I would love to. Yeah, I don't want to deal with it. All right, other news. Apparently, Tiger Woods is on the move. So this kind of came on Twitter. Okay. So I knew there were flight trackers, right? I knew that there was a way to track airplanes. It happens all the time. Like, LeBron's decision. His plane flew from, Cleveland to LA, whatever. I did not know that you could track boats in the same way. And apparently, Eric Patterson, Tiger's yacht is on the move and headed to St. Simons, Georgia, which, by the way, my friend, is a stone's throw from Hilton Head, where the PGA Tour will be playing next week. Sound the alarm, right? Like the guy's playing.
Yeah, this is sound the alarm for sure. So a little peek behind the curtain. I've been, ever since Tiger played at Shinnecock, where his yacht privacy showed up, that's when I kind of first jumped on the yacht tracker, if you will. The thing doesn't move a lot. I get like these, every other day updates, emails, just,
You're sick, by the way, for getting every other update emails on Tiger's yacht. I love it.
But it's moved for Shinnecock. It left for where was the 2000? It went up to New York twice. So
yeah, because that's like, honestly, that's like the easiest way for him to get there. Yeah, that sounds right. Because that's like, it's with all the traffic and shit, like it's way easier for him to just yacht over there and have a place to stay.
So it's been to New York twice. It went to Albany for the Bahamas for the Hero World Challenge in 2019. And this is the fourth time I've seen it move. So
Wow.
he's 3 for 3 before,
So
and now it's heading.
every time it moves, it's for a tournament.
Yeah, like I guess he doesn't rent it out or let other people use it. It's his.
He doesn't need the money.
Yeah, Tiger's little rent yacht program.
Where does he keep it? Florida? That's where he docks
Yeah,
it?
it stays in West Palm Beach, I guess, pretty close to his house. But it makes a ton of sense for him. He can, keep that thing nice and clean, control who's going on and off. And I personally thought he'd be playing his first event at the Memorial, but this makes so much sense that he can just hop on his boat, and he calls it a dinghy. It's far from a dinghy, but
no, it's massive, right?
Float up there. That's a luxury. It's a major flex on the rest of the field when he can jump in his yacht and head to a tournament.
How good is it that this guy has a yacht that he's only moved like 4 times in the last however many years? I don't know if he spends time on it while it's docked, but like pretty sick to just have that like in the back pocket whenever you need it.
Yeah, maybe. I have no idea how it works, but maybe he takes it out for a couple rides. But like when there's a destination, that's when when it's on the move. But so yeah, he's his yacht is reportedly heading, according to the website, it's heading to St. Simons, RBC Heritage there next week. I saw that it is the favorite for his next event. So I've already created the Tiger Commits to RBC Heritage article. It's not published yet, but it will be quick once I get the word.
Well, we will. If things follow suit, it'll be a Friday after 5 o'clock like press release, right? That they'll drop and he'll commit on like Friday afternoon.
Yeah, usually sometimes a bit earlier, but it'll come from his Twitter account, I would assume. I think his yacht's supposed to dock tomorrow morning, so it's an overnight venture. I don't even know if he's on the thing. He could fly and just kind of send someone up there. He probably doesn't want to sit on the boat for 2 hours or for 2 days, but who knows?
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize it was going to take that long, right? He probably right. He'll probably fly there or whatever, or get helicoptered in or teleport. I don't know. That guy's got so much money, he'll figure it out. But then he'll just stay there during the week, it seems like.
So looking ahead, I already peeked up the Google Maps. TPC River Highlands, the week after RBC Heritage, is on the Connecticut River, which flows in from the Atlantic Ocean. So I mean, I don't know if the yacht can float down the river, but there's a way for his boat to get to New York at least for next week. So maybe we go back-to-back weeks for Tiger, but that's pure speculation for now. We'll be tracking it come next Sunday.
I think that, so first of all, I am surprised. Okay, if he plays, which it looks, I mean, based on the yachts, he's playing. I was pretty surprised. I too, Eric, thought it was going to be the Memorial. Now you have to look at this. So if he plays Heritage, I don't think he's ever going to play back-to-back weeks.
He's not going to go back-to-back, but maybe he'll send like JT, his buddy, up on the yacht. You never know.
There you go. So probably Heritage, then there'll be the Travelers. I'm saying no, he's not going to go to Detroit and play the Rocket Mortgage. Then it would be the tournament at the Memorial that's not the Memorial, the Workday Open or Classic or whatever they're going to call it, right?
I think he'll probably skip that and play the Memorial.
Right, play the Memorial, and then who knows what his schedule looks like after that, maybe a WGC. But wow, pretty big news if he commits to RBC Heritage, which I think he played once, like 1998 or something like that.
I think it was 99, and he came like tied for 18th, I think is what I saw. So it's been a while. Kind of goes to show what this break has done to people, and even Tiger's itching to get back.
Seriously.
I could see, because I think Cantley's probably going to return next week, and Tiger. So I don't think Adam Scott's going to be there, or Fleetwood. But next week's field could be even more stacked than this week. So it's
don't get me excited.
It's pretty crazy that we're opening the season with potentially this field, which resembles a FedEx Cup playoff event, and then next week Tiger comes back. So it's a good way to roll out the new restarted schedule.
Where's Hideki?
Yeah, that's a good question.
When's he going to play?
Maybe he might be in Japan for all I know. Like he could be, worried about the quarantine or travel. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. But yeah, he should be coming back here soon. He won the Memorial. I'm sure maybe the Travelers. I think that could draw another strong field. It always does, and that's usually after the U.S. Open. So the Travelers, first few weeks are going to be sweet.
It's always an event that gets rave reviews from players and spectators and everything like that up in Cromwell, Connecticut. So for sure, interesting. Okay, well, we will wait for that that article from you, Eric. That Tiger has committed to the RBC Heritage would be very cool. Would be weird to see Tiger play without fans though. Like like the rest of 95% of the tour, when you go out and watch it, like they don't play. They play in front of 3 people. Now Tiger is gonna have to do the same thing. Would be weird.
The last time there was a round played with no fans, Tiger won. So the Zozo round 2 or 3 was no fans.
That's right, because it was like really bad weather or something, right?
The place was like completely underwater. I don't know how they played it, but it would have, letting fans on would have destroyed a lot of the rough and stuff. So they had no fans for one of the rounds at least. But yeah, it was, I remember watching that at like 3-4 a.m. and it was putting me to sleep with no fans, even though Tiger was in the hunt and kind of leading at that point. But yeah,
that reminds me,
definitely interesting.
That reminds me that, so the Memorial is going to come back presumably with fans as of right now, as of time of recording this. It sounds like they're going to let fans in, but it's going to be a limited amount, so like 8,000-ish. Now
sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot. Okay, it does sound like a ton, but on a golf course, you could put 8,000, and it depends on the course. Some are a lot. Like if you put 8,000 at Torrey, it would look like there's no one out there because it's such a huge plot of land. I don't know how big the plot of land is at the Memorial, but naturally, I assume you can't build grandstands. Grandstands are a way to put everyone in one spot, which seems like a terrible idea. I think you just let them roam free. And in my ideal world, Rick's ideal world, which is the complete opposite of whatever the PGA Tour does, I would let them do what the European Tour. Remember that? It was like a men's and women's like dual event. I don't remember what it was called, but they basically let the fans go anywhere. So like they couldn't stand on the green. So they're like, there's like a guy laying on the fringe at some point, like having a nice suntan, and you could walk up the fairways like behind the players. It was amazing, and also will never happen on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, they also let dogs at that event too, which is pretty chaotic as well. I remember that. It was one of the mixed events in Australia, but I'm not sure how many people they had. And yeah, I couldn't see, that would be chaos. 8,000 people would be sprinting towards Tiger. So it's, even though there's 8,000, we talked about it earlier, they kind of congregate to a few groups. So maybe they'll have to split up the marquee pairings for that one a bit more. I'm not sure, but yeah, they definitely will have ropes, unfortunately. But I like the idea. It'll be like East Lake all over again, and Tiger would be getting mauled.
Yes.
It's a good scene, but yeah, you can't have that on every fairway.
No, it'd be hilarious. It was the Vic Open, which is in Australia, and it was I have no idea how many people they got out there.
They should allow dogs though. Bring the dogs on. Why not? Get some barks in the background.
My dog would sprint after every golf ball he saw, which would probably be a bad thing. So I'm not. It'd
be like that the seagull that picked up the ball and dropped in the water at 17.
At Sawgrass.
Could have that again.
I'm all for it, which means it will never ever happen. All right, let's wrap with this, EPAT. So we've never done this before. Obviously, we're in like week 3 of this show. I want to get picks on the record for us. I don't want to frame it like a one and done because there's like 13 weeks left in the season or something like that. Actually, I lied. Can I bring up one more topic real quick? A little self promo.
It's your show, buddy. You can do whatever you want.
Thanks, man. So, I don't know how much I can reveal, but big news coming on CBS Sports, fantasy game that will be announced this week. So CBS Sports is doing a prop pick'em game where every day you'll answer 10 prop questions, Eric, and the winner will win $1,000 around, no entry fee. So I imagine if you ever wanted to, like, your best chance of winning the 1,000 is probably like the first week because there will be the lowest number of players that we'll probably ever get.
This sounds like one of those competitions that is only, restricted to the low 50 states, so
Yeah, with the
doesn't seem
lower
like something
48.
I'll be. Yeah, I'm not. It sounds like a no Canadians event, so I'll probably have to pass, but we'll see. I'll click it.
That's probably true. I don't know if you are eligible or not.
Such a shame.
The caveat to this is yours truly, myself. I'm creating the props, Eric. So I will be creating them every round of the tournament, and they'll be loaded into the app so that you can make the picks, which has been a
Give me
pretty
an
fun.
example. Are they golf related, or like
Yes.
props of like will Bryson flex?
Oh, I'll see if they'll let me do that. But
You could have some fun ones in there.
yeah, so it's basically like, what will Rory McIlroy's score be? Over under
Yeah.
67 and a half, or who will win? Bryson or Justin Thomas and a tie or something like that. So there'll be, what score will the winner make on the final hole? Stuff like that. And there'll be 10 a day. And it should be pretty fun, but it's literally a crack at free money if you're eligible for it.
If I'm eligible to play, yeah, I'll be in there for sure. If you give me, well, maybe I'll put my own in, and then it'll be kind of rigged towards me. We'll see.
But the big thing that comes out of this though is I love the investment that CBS is making in one, golf, and two, getting into this market. I think it is very clear that the fantasy, the sports betting, all of that stuff in golf is a rocket ship that is going up and to the right. So very good signs in my opinion.
Yeah, you've been on this a lot, and there was an article that came out this week about how golf bettors spend the most on like per week compared to other sports. So golf betting is huge. I love every aspect of it. 4-day sweat. Yeah, the odds are enormous. So it's definitely something I would recommend looking into for added entertainment.
I love it. Yeah, I want to talk about that survey, but we'll do it next week. All right, EPAT. You have to pick a winner of this golf tournament. What we'll kind of do it like this. We're going to pick a guy, and I'll keep track of their earnings for the foreseeable future. I don't have an end date in mind. We'll just see how we stack up here. Who do you have for this week's, I forgot what it's called, Charles Schwab Challenge?
Yeah, Charles Schwab. They've got their money's worth this year, because I've been saying that's been said for 3 months now.
Do you know what? So this tournament used to be. So it was Fort Worth Invitational, which didn't even have a sponsor. It was Dean and DeLuca, and it was Crown Plaza, whatever. This came up last night in a conversation. Do you know what kind of company Dean and DeLuca is?
It's a grocery store, isn't it?
How do you know that?
I remember this being talked about like a couple of years ago. I looked into it. Kevin Kisner won it, I think. Yeah. Groceries.
Yeah, Kiz won one of them. Yeah. So it is apparently a high-end grocery store or I don't even know, market that I've never heard of, but I'm pretty sure they just filed for bankruptcy at like the start of this coronavirus, like April 1st.
Laugh, but...
I know. So tough run for Dean and DeLuca. Didn't get the exposure from the golf tournament, and now looks like they're
a few years too late.
All right.
I bought enough time to make my pick. So just earnings. earnings.
Let's do earnings. Yeah. Unless you have a better idea, I don't care.
No, that's fine. Okay. It's tough. Rick. I'm gonna go, and it's not like a one and done. So just pick whoever.
We'll just do. I can't pick the guy that you pick, and then if I go first next week, you can't pick the guy that I pick.
All right. Give me Justin Thomas.
Okay, Justin Thomas, who. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I'm pretty sure he's like one of the PGA Tour money list 2 of the last 3 years, and probably should have won it last year if he didn't get hurt for that stretch. Was that last year? Like the season, I don't know when the season started or it finished anymore.
Yeah, he got hurt last year. I think he couldn't defend his PGA I forget. He didn't play the PGA, which is wild.
Yeah, because he wrapped his club around the palm tree at like Honda like an idiot on Thursday. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. All right, you'll go with JT, who is excellent. I am just gonna go with Bryson because I'm in love with him, and that's it. And I think that Bryson's breaking the game.
I don't want to poo-poo your pick here, but this guy just got a brand new V12 Ferrari for Christmas, and he's going to take it out to a school zone. He can't even drive it fast. He's I don't know that that's a good analogy or not, but he's good. Got all this new power, and he's going to Colonial where it's going to be tough for it to shine. So I'm excited to see him try and figure out what he's going to do.
He's going to hit 6-iron off the tee. He's so long.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if he can rein it in. But yeah, but he's definitely a one to watch for this week.
All right. EPAT, you're working on the RBC Heritage commitment. Anything else you got going on at the score?
Nope. Just regular news. Betting preview should be up later tonight or tomorrow morning. Yeah.
How did your countdown go? It's over now, right? Or like almost over?
We got day 2 is today actually. So I got 2 picks for every major for the rest of the year. So 6 total picks, guys I like.
Has it been posted already?
Yeah, it's posted.
Okay.
I was trying
to see if I was going to spoil it if I said one of them. Okay.
No, it's
here we go. 2 days until golf.
Yeah, PGA. I think I went Rom and Sungjae.
Would be very thrilled about that.
I'm sitting on a heavy Sungjae ticket at 140 to 1, so I'm hoping
you and me both, brother.
Yeah, everyone got him. That's still even now he's 50, and if you kind of compare him to the odds for this week, he's 28. So you'd expect his major odds to be around 35, 40. Yeah. So 50 is a decent value.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to give away the rest of them because they got to go give you the clicks. So go check out the score. Eric's got picks up here for the U.S. Open and for the Masters as well. Ooh, these are tantalizing. Okay, that's the teaser for that. Eric Patterson at EPAT Golf. I'm sure will be very active on Twitter this week. Golf is back. Thank you for joining me, sir. I'm Rick Gehman. You can find me on Twitter at RickRunGood. This has been 300 Yards to Unknown. Catch you next time.